Aaron Rodgers put it in one of his post-game interviews a few weeks ago. So I think if we can balance that out on offense, I think we can end up having a pretty good offensive threat with Aaron Jones. So
I said this earlier, and we didn't really touch on it too much, but I don't know if you heard it when you were listening, Parker, but to me, Aaron Jones this year looks a little slower. His feet just look heavier. It doesn't. I just don't feel like he's as decisive as he's been in the past. I don't know if that's the run blocking. I don't know if it's the field conditions. Obviously, in Dallas, it'll be perfect field conditions. I feel like they're like perfect for a runner like Aaron Jones. But I don't know. Have you seen the same thing, or is that just me?
I actually, now that you mention it, I watched the game and I did see some heavy feet type of moves from him during the game, like he would step too hard or wouldn't cut as shifty as he would in a normal situation. But again, I mean that may be due to his injury history, or it also may be due to how many games he's missed and maybe like not being fully acclimated to the game yet. Because I mean, this is going to be his first full year being fully healthy right now. So, but again, I'm hoping that it's just a phase, and I'm hoping that he can just get out of it and become better, which I think that we all know that he can be a great back because we've seen it when he's healthy. But I think you're going to see a lot of flashes of him in Dallas next week, and I think it's going to bode well for the offense.
I just feel like when he's going east and west, it just isn't as quick
as north-south.
As north-south. For him, he's always, to me, he's been a good inside runner. If he's just one cut quick up the field, north and south, and I feel like he right now on some of these runs when he's kind of starting to go wide and then he'll cut it, but it's just, I don't know what it is. Something looks a little off this year so far. I don't know. But I don't know if I need to watch some stuff more and see if it's, I don't know if it's field conditions. I don't know if it's the blocking just isn't what it has been in the past or what it is.
Sure.
Something's off there. I mean,
he's in a zone stretch scheme, and I think what we're finding out is that why Williams is on the field more is I think Williams came from a zone stretch scheme down in BYU. Dexter Williams comes from a zone stretch scheme in Notre Dame. And in UTEP, it's kind of an ISO blocking scheme. And McCarthy ran an ISO blocking scheme, which is exactly what you're talking about. It's more one cut, find the hole, wiggle a little bit up the field. He's still a slasher, but I think he fits better like in that type of ISO scheme. I think you might find out that they're going to have to find other ways to try to utilize him because I don't think that's why you think his feet are slow. I saw it. I've seen it too. And it's on the stretch plays. He's still got that explosiveness straight up north and south. He does not look natural on the finding the crack. Like 2 weeks ago, Delvin Cook is a perfect zone stretch guy. All he needs is a crack, and his toe hits that crack, and he's freaking gone. Like, like I'm not seeing that with Jones.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Right. Well, I'm not seeing that with Jones, Ryan, and I'm watching the offensive film, and Dave does the defensive film. I've been seeing the same thing, and I even tweeted it a couple of times, I think, last week. He seems sluggish, and then all of a sudden he'll hit it, but the difference is exactly what you just said. When he hits it and looks like Aaron Jones, it seems to be the north-south direct runs, and he's got that little wiggle. He just seems sluggish everywhere else, and he's not finding the crack. And there's the cutback, and he doesn't hit the hard cutback either. Like, he loses all of his athletic skills and everything, it feels like, when he's running that way, Ryan. So you're not the only one that's seeing it.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Sometimes you gotta get confirmation from some other people's eyes. But
I think that's part of why I'm saying that I think he's proven to be a good number 2. And I think that's why Jamal Williams is there. But Jamal Williams is a good number 2 guy, too. I think you either got to try to see what Dexter Williams has got, and if he can fit this scheme, but he's kind of raw when it comes to everything else outside of the zone running. You know what I mean? Like, and so you still have a dilemma when he's on the field because you're still limited. That's why That's why I said the first thing, like the actual serious thing is if Melvin Gordon is available or there's a back like that, you probably need to go look at it, because I think otherwise you're definitely, it's going to be too late to wait till next year, but you're going to end up drafting a back, like I thought earlier in the first or second round. But like, why not do it now? If you can.
To your point though about drafting, if we were to wait and not get a free agent running back, I think what we could possibly try doing would be to try to get either in the first or second round, try to get Jonathan Taylor out of Wisconsin. That dude is a beast.
I'm going to tell you right now. I've watched Jonathan Taylor because I'm a Wisconsin boy. I was born and raised in Madison, and I'm a Badger fan.
I'm a huge Badger fan too.
Taylor is the next. He's going to be better than Elliott. He's got better feet and better overall. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, watch his tape.
I do.
His feet do shit like Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith and like he is so much more the full, and he can still do everything Ezekiel Elliott does. He will not.
I mean, could you imagine him on Green Bay's offense though? Oh
he'll
man,
be a top 5 pick unless he gets hurt. He's a top 5 pick. I'm telling you right now, he's a top 5 pick. There's just no freaking way Green Bay, unless their season goes out the wall.
I know that.
All the other backs are second round guys anyway.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Go get a guy now if you can.
I agree. Again, it was just another idea like the Jordy Nelson thing a while ago that we were talking about. But again, especially with how good Wisconsin's doing, if they go like undefeated in the regular season or even like one loss and they go to the playoff, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's already caught, I think, 3 total receiving touchdowns already, and that's the first 3 of his career. So obviously Wisconsin knows that the NFL is looking at him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be catching all these touchdowns because, I mean, the NFL is a pass-happy league. So I think he's going to probably go pro next year, so which is a good idea. So,
yeah, if I'm Jonathan Taylor, there's no question I'm going pro after this year. You're running back.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, we always like to get onto the draft topic on these.
No, I wasn't on the draft topic. No, my point was like, go get a Melvin Gordon now, because if you're in the draft, it's too late next year.
No, I agree. Yeah,
I guess I was just trying to confirm with Ryan, and to me, what that's confirming is you're not going to change your offense. You're not going to start running a lot of ISO. You need to find.
No,
Aaron Jones is.
That's not Green Bay's forte.
Just like Dave said before you would come on. He made the good point. Aaron Jones has all kinds of value. You don't want to get rid of him. He has a knack for finding the end zone in short yardage, even though he's a slasher, not a power back. But when he's 2 yards out, he seems to find his way into the end zone. Like, he wiggles and twists his way there. Yeah, like tonight. Like, I just think that Ryan and I know with Dave, when he watches, he sees the same thing. He just doesn't seem to fit this. And Williams he's the same kind of guy. Like, they're just not guys that are going to develop. Even if you feed them 25 times, they're going to sputter out and they're not going to give you the results you're looking for. They're not franchise number 1 running backs. Now, you can put Dexter Williams in, and I really believed that he was going to lead this team in rushing, but once I saw that he was so raw in the other parts of the field, the realization comes is that you have to be able to do those other things. You can't just be one-dimensional, or they're just going to load the box and knowing, well, they're running the stretch play. And so he's really, like, that's the dilemma I'm in. And Ryan brought up, so it's like, if Melvin Gordon's really available, you better go try to get him. Or if there's another guy, if there's a Ronald Jones or Peyton Barber, or we've thrown several names out over, even when we were winning, about, potential backs that might be out there.
What about Kenyon Drake from the Dolphins?
But I guess he's kind of he's not really, he doesn't really, I think I'd rather have a Barber or Peyton, whichever one of those guys.
Kalen Balazs.
I don't want any Dolphins in the running game. They were never good in running the ball. Drake is a passing down guy.
Another gadget running back to the floor.
I'll tell you a guy who I really wish they would use more in the running game is Danny Vitale. I mean, that guy, he could take a lot of contact. And again, he's like, what is he, 6'1" or 6 foot and 230? I mean, that guy, I mean, if you run him, he can run. I mean, he's got legs and he's got power. I'm just saying, if we oh yeah. And even in the screen game too. I mean, if Jones or Williams isn't there on a screen, go to Vitale on a fullback screen. He can weave around the defense and get downfield. I've seen it.
So what else did
and he's athletic.
What else did you see out there, Ryan, besides his goofy feet?
Just the offense in general, or Aaron Jones specifically?
Just in the offense in general, even if it pertains to the run game, because the run game wasn't. I mean, it wasn't very good altogether.
It wasn't good at all. I didn't want them to even run though at that point because, like I said earlier, why? You're going against a secondary that's completely banged up. I was disappointed that the other wide receivers outside of Devontae Adams didn't step it up. But at the end of the day, I was fine with them feeding Devontae because that's what we wanted, right? So that's cool. 10 catches, 180 yards. It's just
and an injury.
And then an injury. I was just thinking that maybe the others would also, eat a little bit more just because of. I mean, you're going against their third, fourth, fifth string cornerbacks at that point.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Or worse. But I did like the fact that we definitely left a lot of points on the board as an offense, but the fact that we looked better as an offense, which I don't know if that's good or bad because they ran an offense that wasn't the typical offense and put up those points. They started just chucking the ball all over the place. But the fact that Aaron Rodgers was able to look the way he did tonight, that made me feel a lot better. Because
it's encouraging for sure.
It was encouraging. I saw a quarterback.
Can I bring up a point on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did it seem like soon as Rodgers, like I know he was 10 for 10 before that, but once he got his hand hit or smacked in a certain way, it's like it kind of woke up the beast.
That kind of stuff's always been that way with him.
Yeah. Like week 1 last year with the Bears.
Mm-hmm. I think he was like 2 for 6 that before he got hurt, and then he came back and was like 17 for 24 for 270 and 3 touchdowns. Holy crap.
Well, I mean,
that guy can just turn his switch on and off. It's crazy.
The other thing, too, that I liked a lot. The other thing I liked about Rodgers tonight is he ran the ball. When something wasn't there and there was wide open field.
Yes. Super smart, too.
Really well.
And he averaged almost 10 yards a carry. He's 9.4, which is crazy.
Those are backbreakers for the defense.
Yeah.
And he's diving forward.
He's those lungs puffing and puffing.
Yeah, he was sliding when it was smart, and then he was head first when he needed to get the first down. And I loved it.
Yep. That's what I think he learned from Favre too, from being behind Favre all those years. Favre took the risk or reward play, and Rodgers, you see now, I mean, he's learned to take care of the ball immensely. I mean, he only has like 87 interceptions or 88 interceptions, which is just insane for how long he's been in the league. So I think that's a benefit towards Rodgers in a way, because he's learned to control the ball and take care of the ball because of it.
We hadn't seen that the first 3 weeks. It's almost as if he kind of lulled the defenses to sleep thinking he's not running, and all of a sudden they weren't ready for it. So now you're going to have to counter that on defenses. You're prepping for the Packers that what they might have to think of, spying him at some point. Not that they're going to all the time, but now that is now another option that they have to think about. Another
element,
weapon, so to speak. Elements, exactly. So I liked that.
Sure.
That was big.
Yeah.
I mean, put up big numbers tonight. I mean,
oh yeah,
122 yards and 46 yards rushing.